This is really exciting. My name is AJ Perkins from Instant On. 2 weeks ago, a neighbor reached out to me and said that he had read an article that I was quoted in on home microgrids. And he said, AJ, I think I need your help because if there's any prolonged power outage in our area, I am in a whole world of hurt. And he continued to talk about how his business was transitioned where he's now working out of home and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you're right. If we ever get into a situation where they implement these public safety power shutoffs, you know, because of the wildfires coming up here in California again, you know, everybody's going to be in a world of hurt. And he said, no, AJ, you just don't get it. Forget about my kids not being able to be on their devices or my ice cream melting. He's like, you're talking about a multinational, multi-million-dollar company that's at the behest of everything that's going on. And it really was shocking because, like he said, he's like, AJ, if the power goes out at my office, you know, then I go down to the local Starbucks, I go home to work, you know, I've got options. But right now, in the way that the world is, I have no option. So my business crumbles. Everything that me and my wife has worked for throughout this time has come to a point where if anything happens, hundreds of families get affected because of our business not being able to sustain itself because of a potential power outage that could last a few days. And that's where it really started to hit home, you know, because when we think about, you know, economic downturns, it doesn't matter whether it's from COVID, stay-at-home orders, wildfires, public safety power shutoffs, floods, storms, whatever it is, right? Wherever the economic downturn comes into our face, we have to be able to meet it head on. We have to be able to find innovation, find creativity, and just kind of get through it. And that's where microgrids really come in for us to be able to help understand how microgrids can help bring some sense of peace, some sense of continuity as we move towards all of the things that we're having to fix. So this brings me to one of our exciting projects that we are really proud of. In February, Microgrid Knowledge reported on a project that we were awarded by the developer and finance company that wanted us to do nanogrids and microgrids for this community for U.S. veterans. It's a 37-home pilot project that they're going to be building in Paris, California, and they are looking to do 1 million homes for U.S. veterans across the country. And they said, AJ, we really need your help because these people that have served our country and us well, we want to create a community in which they and their families can just feel safe. We want to have continuity of power, water, all the things that they need to be able to help bring peace of mind to their lives. And it was really exciting for us because that's really what we were providing by putting together a nanogrid for every home, making sure that power is always on, and then also creating the same scenario for their community center and creating a connected community was something that was really easy for us to envision. And it was something that continues to give us hope based on what we're looking at today. This is what we need in our lives. We don't need to shirk all the responsibilities and try to figure out things. This is where we need to step up and really move things along. And it's really sad because in March, it was also reported that 2 major IOUs in California, Pacific Gas and Electric and Southern California Edison, had abandoned all big plans for microgrid development in 2020. And it's sad. It really is, because this is what we need. We need some sort of peace of mind of knowing that when chaos is happening around us, that we can count on at least a constant flow of power, water, all the basics in life to be able to give us some sense of hope, some sense of that we're moving forward. And that's where we decided, you know what, it's time for us to really just start kind of getting things in gear. We can't wait for anybody else to do it. We got to do it on our own. And it really takes us to kind of the next phase of where we're able to move all of this along. So we decided to really try to push the envelope in the way that we were doing things. And some of this started pre-COVID, but it still continues to move forward. And we had a member from the board for FCHIA, the Fuel Cell Hydrogen Energy Association, that reached out and said, hey, AJ, would you be willing to integrate a 1.5 kW fuel cell into one of your solar microgrid projects for a home? And we were fortunate that a utility also supported it, saying, yes, we'd love to be able to see that happen. And it's a project that we're really excited about, because we believe that this is going to be the first fuel cell integrated into a solar microgrid with all of the capabilities that we're bringing to the table in this particular home. We believe this is going to be the first in America, and we're excited to see how this works, because, you know, we have learned on the design for our Veterans Project, where we put on a 5 kW solar system and 40 kWh of battery in every home. What we realize is that some of these homes do not have the ability to power a 40 kWh battery in their home off of solar alone. So by being able to create a secondary source of power through this fuel cell, you know, there's so many more benefits that we're able to see off of this. You know, number one, we're using natural gas, which gives us a lower cost of power. We're creating power 24/7 utilizing a fuel cell, and one of the byproducts is free hot water for the home. And, you know, through this, we're able to create resiliency and redundancy. So that's where it continues to give us added benefits over and above the financial paybacks that everybody is talking about. Another project that we're excited about is taking place in Hawaii. We have our partners out in Hawaii. One of the CEO of the company is a former president for the Hawaii PV Coalition, and he said, AJ, we need help. We need help back in the island, and we need to figure out a more affordable way to help our families. So we decided to bring out a portable 5 kWh battery that we have. And I mean, it's amazing. It's plug and play. No permits, no professional installation necessary. I mean, you plug it in and it'll back you up. But we also integrated a intelligent circuit panel that is able to do things that hasn't been seen yet. So we've been able to put together this small nanogrid that is affordable and deployable at mass scale, that can give us so many more capabilities. So, you know, for instance, one of the things that we're looking at is, you know, by being able to bring this intelligent panel into the mix, we now have the ability to bring in a revenue grade smart meter into the build. And now we also have the ability to create not just a circuit panel that is there, but also a digital essential loads panel that can be controlled remotely. So as it relates to, let's say, the utility has the ability to call a demand response event. And because we're able to prioritize the circuit loads while we install the panel, we can actually, when the utility calls a demand response event, say when power is being used too much in the middle of summer, they can say, hey, reduce all of the loads by 10%. And now, instead of, you know, in California, when they go ahead and call a demand response event for my home, they literally shut off my AC. When it's 110 degrees in the middle of summer, that's not a good thing. So in this particular system, we'll be able to reduce the entire load by 10%, and it can actually start taking out non-essential loads. So for all intents and purposes, your AC may still be going. And the other thing too is now on the customer side, you know, we also give the ability to get revenue grade metering that goes down to the circuit level. So it's kind of like being able to go into a restaurant and say, hey, you know what, I want to order all of these different things, and you get one bill. Well, your utility bill has the ability to break down in each circuit how much power each circuit is used, as well as how much dollars is associated with that. On the flip side, when they do call a demand response event, you'll actually be able to see how much money was earned because of that event. So from a very passive standpoint, you can say, man, I earned $2.50. I didn't do anything. Man, imagine if I did more. Well, imagine if I shut off more things. So it becomes a very customer-centric, proactive approach from the consumer side. And on the utility side, they actually get the benefits of creating this environment where the consumer can actually participate. So as we look at all of these things that's going on around us, you know, again, clean energy is really important for all of us, and being able to stay the course, you know, during societal disruptions is absolutely critical for all of us. But, you know, when we look at this and ask, what do we do about it? We need to just really make sure we're out there. You know, if we don't know how to push this along, I mean, call me. That's it. It's that simple. I mean, you get a Hawaiian on the stage and you have him talk to people about this. When you live in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, 2,500 miles away from any landmass, you need to understand resiliency and sustainability. In the Hawaiian language, there is no word for sustainability. You know why? Because it's life for us. That's why. Our ancestors understood how it was to take care of the land, take care of its resources, and all of the people around. That's what we need to do. We need to come together during this time and do exactly that. Take care of all the things that we have, be innovative. This isn't a time for us to shirk away our responsibilities to the people that we serve and the people that we love. We need to gather together, get the innovations, get the things moving forward, and really start pushing this. Microgrids truly is a solution for all that we're looking towards, or it is a solution. There's a lot of things out there, and as Keith Cunningham says, never let a crisis go to waste.